More funny stories that you can think of to
A lot of stuff that happened not involving wrestling.
No, it's gotta be wrestling.
With wrestlers. There was this one time in PWA whenever we were at the carousel that we were green and we got in trouble for everything we did.
I remember those days.
Because Bobby would just yell at us about everything and get mad at us and do the whole, pretty disappointed in you guys. So we were in the back. The way they had the room kind of curtained off halfway, so there was the rest of the bar back here where we would go and stretch and talk matches and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the show's going on this side.
Right.
So there was like this scaffolding or something like that we were all playing on. Like we would climb.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, you were doing commentary. This is.
Oh, okay.
So you were busy. So we were in the back messing with all this scaffolding stuff and climbing it and just just being stupid. Well, Cornbread decides he wants to do it too.
Oh boy.
And
he was a big boy back then.
He was huge, and so he climbed up it, and it broke, and just shit everywhere, just making all this noise and stuff. And Bobby Doll walks around, and that was when he was doing the injury thing, and he wasn't even at the shows, but he was there to yell at us.
Right.
And he walked in the back, and it was our fault, obviously, because Cornbread didn't have anything to do with it, apparently, and we got in trouble, and we ended up having a no weapons match.
That's punishment.
That's punishment.
You'll get a brutal no weapons match.
You guys have. Never mind. I was going to berate a name that I don't need to. You got D'Angelo and Havoc tonight.
Anywho, Manny.
You don't want to berate those guys?
I was thinking of something else.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't where I was going.
I'll talk some shit about Chad Havoc.
I always like Chad Havoc.
Fuck them both.
Alright, let's get off the road stories and segue into something else, unless y'all just want to cut it off right here.
Whatever, man.
Okay, I got one.
It's your dime.
One last thing we can do.
Okay.
To get back to the wrestling.
Sure.
If you could have a shoot match with any worker in this area, who would you want it to be against?
To fight?
Yes.
Like if you could actually MMA fist fight
Yes.
with a worker in
No
the
holding
area.
back.
I don't think there are any.
How in the area are we talking? Just people we worked before?
No.
Because
Not
mine's
necessarily
500 mile radius?
Mine's not a name in the area.
Well, you can just say whoever you're thinking of.
JC North.
JC North, yeah.
Good choice.
He's an NWA guy from back in the day
I would
that
help you.
dropped you on your skull, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't careful, and he took a lot of advantage of me for being as green as I was, and I didn't know any better. And it was, I've heard a couple different stories as to who ordered that, and I mean, I won't go there so much because I don't know what's true and what's not. But
Right. It's all hearsay.
But bottom line, he carried it out, and fuck him.
Fuck JC North, that comes from Nick Vortex.
It does.
Fuck JC North player.
And you?
Corey Jackson.
Now, see, is
You?
this shoot, or is this like you're just because like you see Corey in the locker room and you shake his hand and you're like, hey,
I shake his hand because I don't want to be a morale cancer in the locker
a
room.
It's
troublemaker.
my job.
Right. There's other guys for that. So, I'm going to be professional at the show. But, on the other hand, I would love hand-to-hand combat with that kid. I would just, I don't know why. It's not like I really even want to hurt him. I just think I would enjoy it for some reason.
I don't want to fight anybody because probably anybody that wrestles with us could hand me my ass.
Let's just say JC North then for you.
Because
What about,
I'm a giant
How about Johnny Angel?
wet vagina. No,
For fucking you over at
No.
DSPW.
I don't hold any
You're too much
grudge.
of a fucking baby
I don't
face.
hold any grudge toward the
I'll
guy.
fucking fight you right now then.
Let's go.
What a
Interesting
puss.
side note to.
You hear that? He doesn't want to fight anybody, so
So I want
illusion
to
is
fight.
shattered.
Interesting side
Not
note
for
to the
real.
JC North story.
Mhm.
At that show, because of as much, I was taken advantage of basically, and I got my ass handed to me at that
Wasn't
show.
it him and Joey
Corman didn't have anything to do with it.
Right.
But because of what happened there, and as bad as I got beaten, that's the last show my mom has ever gone to.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awful.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was years ago.
Wow.
That's the last show my mom ever went to because of what happened. And
Now do you want to fight JC North too, Jerry?
And now, now I'll be like, hey, Mom, you want to go? I got this Ultimate show coming up, and, we're doing some pretty cool stuff with it. Do you want to come to that show? And she'll be like, well, you're not going to get your ass beat like you did last time, are you?
Can't make any promises.
And it's like, well, no, I'm different now. That doesn't happen.
That's another good question. Who's beating your ass in a match?
Beating my
Like when you were green, like a veteran that really put you through the fucking ringer.
Like took advantage of you, or
not so much.
Just did it to be, welcome to the business.
Right.
Well, I went through the Chop Battle Royal. So
yeah.
everybody.
Sure.
The worst ones.
That's a battle royal. Like if you're a rookie coming in, you have a battle royal, and the promoter says, "Okay, everybody chop the green guy."
The worst ones, not worst as in like take advantage of you, but the hardest chops that I took.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Delicious, Tony Spade, Death Row, Cyrus.
Oh, Cyrus
lit me the fuck up. Oh,
he loves some chops.
And Charles C-Note. C-Note lit me up pretty well. But I mean, all those guys, they're all great guys. Love them. But they lit me the fuck up. And I mean, and I've done it to people since. So I mean, it's part of the business. It's get over it,
Other than the battle royal, though, like in a match, I know that you had a match at the fairgrounds with the Black Sheep. You and Eric.
I didn't get too much of that because Eric stayed in for most of the heat because we were the baby faces, and it was Bob more than anything because Danny, I think, Danny did the psychological thing to you where he was like, you better grab your best hold,
Like
But when it came down to business, Danny wants to have a good match.
Right.
And I stayed in with Danny, and I mean, there were times he threw me into the chairs and shit like that, and, slammed me on the table and stuff. But, I mean, none of that really hurt. So, as far as, like, getting shot on in that match, Eric took a lot more of that than I did, and it was from Bob. And the thing is me and Eric kind of had a deal where, I mean, we pussied out of it, more or less. Not pussied out of it, we had each other's backs as far as if Bobby put you in a hold, go in there and kick him.
Right.
Break it up. He'd get in something, I'd go break it up. And Bobby couldn't keep a hold on Eric for long enough because I'd come break it up. But Danny, and the intimidation factor got to us because Danny would come in the ring, and Danny was one of those who, just for joke, I guess, would come in and like spit at you and stuff like that. Well, he was doing that, so I spit back at him, and it landed on his forehead. and it was funny because I'm sitting here. It was Bob Holliday. We're like, what the fuck? Come on, going back and forth like that.
Yeah.
Boom! I spit at him, lands on his forehead. All right, I'm gonna get out of the ring.
All right, that's my cue. See ya.